Hey guys, Britt here. Great to have you back again with us as we continue on in the sermon series When Heroes Fall. This week's story is all about Rachel. Now, if you remember her story, Jacob really loved her and wanted to marry her and worked for 7 years for the right to marry her. But then he accidentally married Leah, so he had to work another 7 years. So he worked for 14 years just to marry this beautiful woman, Rachel. Now, we don't know a lot about Rachel, but she does come up in this story. And then she comes up again later when they're leaving and she steals some idols from her father Laban's household. And then she lies about stealing the idols, and then she gets away with it. Now, this doesn't really sound like the stuff that heroes are made of, does it? But she must be important because she ends up in the genealogy for Jesus. Sometimes the ones that we least expect end up being more important than we think. So, our family literally just came back from a camping trip a few hours ago, and it was great. So much fun. S'mores, hiking, beaches, Ren ate a ton of dirt. It was just the best. Until we woke up this morning in the rain with a leaky tent. Now, we thought this tent was going to be awesome. We bought it last summer. We were so excited. We waited all year to use it. We thought this tent was going to be the hero of our story. It turns out something else would have been better. We were recommended by others to bring some tarps and set up tarps. And I had a small one and I bought another one, but it was also kind of small. And I thought, well, maybe I should get another bigger one. But I thought, nah, I never used tarps growing up. We always just relied on our tent and that always worked. But then we got to the campground and there were a lot of tarp systems in place. People are really into tarps. But again, I thought, well, I never used tarps growing up. This is a brand new tent. It should be fine. But then the night before it was supposed to rain, we thought, well, we did bring some. Might as well use them. We were told we should put some up. So we strung one up over our tent just to be safe. And it turns out that everywhere where there was no tarp over top leaked. Thankfully, all of our bed stuff was dry, but everything else was soaked. And if you've been camping before, you know that packing up in the rain with a bunch of wet stuff is not fun. So it turns out that the tarps were the real hero of our story. Sometimes what we least expect is what we actually need. Sometimes what's new is actually what's going to save us. If we had just relied on my old methods of camping that were designed for the prairies, then we would have been completely soaked when we woke up this morning. I know that's kind of a funny story to connect to this, but I think that there's a real invitation here from God. God is wanting to know, what are we doing to trust Him? Where are we putting our trust? Are we putting our trust in tents and in the old method of doing things? Or are we willing to step out and see what new thing God has for us? Looking back is always a little bit easier than moving forward, but God is always wanting to draw us further with Him and into deeper relationship. So, where is your trust? In your tent or in your tarp? And if you do go camping, send me a picture because I really want to see your setup. I'm making plans for next year. If you're following along with our Sunday School series, we're in episode 2 of a new series. You can go back to the description box for the links to those for kids, junior youth, and youth. That's it for today. See you next time.